With the youth movement fully in effect in Chicago, the question that me and Pat have today is, who's going to be the odd man out of the Chicago Bulls rotation? We're going to talk about that. Plus, Buzelis left off the Summer League top 10 list, and the Bulls and the Warts family announced the 1901 project. We're going to talk about it all and more on today's Locked On Bulls.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily Chicago Bulls podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for tuning in to Locked On Bulls, member of the Locked On Podcast Network. We're your team every single day. That's Pat the Designer, host and creator of the Windy City Breeze and host of the Chicago Bears podcast over at ESPN 1000. I'm Haize, host and creator of Chicago Bulls Central, Chicago Bears Central YouTube pages and podcasts. And today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more as the playoffs wind down. The sports stop sporting like we want them to. But this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day, all summer long. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. Pat, first of all, bro, shout out to you. You've been killing. You know how many articles I read on the Bears and started to see Pat the Designer quotes in some of these articles, my boy. I'm proud of you, my boy. Very proud of you, man.
I'm not going to lie to you.
You didn't even know that I just told.
No clue. Had no idea that I was in these articles, bro. What?
That's crazy, bro. Yeah, I read a Bleacher Nation article, had a Pat the Designer quote in it. I also read a Bears Goggles On article that a Pat the Designer credited in, and I was like, all right,
shout out to that. I appreciate them for paying attention. Because nobody's watching the Breeze right now. It's getting irritating.
That's because YouTube's not pushing you the algorithm right now.
YouTube ain't pushing a dang thing right now. Actually, today's episode didn't do bad, so I ain't that mad.
Well, good. I mean, it'll all come around. Hey, listen, anybody who's an aspiring YouTuber,
just push through it.
Just push every once in a while. It don't care how big the show is. The algorithm gets you tripping. You just got to post through it. So there goes your words of encouragement from Pat and Haize today. But Pat, man, I don't know how much encouraging this is going to be. So the first topic for today, with the Bulls going much younger, and, we have some young players that all can be pretty promising and still have some things left to uncover in their game, but there's always some players left out the rotation. When you pair into that as well, the fact that Billy Donovan tends to go 9 deep with maybe a 10th man that comes in there, not consistently, but still averages maybe 8 to 10 minutes, but it's not very consistent. We have quite a bit of players that could be on the depth chart that somebody's just going to get left off and not getting minutes. Let's start off with the starting five. Let's see if you agree there. I have the starting five penciled in as Giddey, Kobe, Levine, Patrick Williams, Nikola Vucevic. Do we agree there?
Yes.
Okay. So out with those guys starting, that leaves you for your bench. Like we said, Billy Donovan goes 8 to 9 deep. So Io is definitely getting minutes. I think we agree on that.
Donovan.
Huh? What?
No. I said shout out to Billy Donovan.
All right. Oh, that's crazy. Io DeSumo, first guard off the bench, more than likely getting minutes. That's number 6. Jalen Smith, just by the nature of being the only other big on the court, on the team, is going to get minutes. That takes you to 7 right there. And then you still got players that are all competing for spots in Mtas Buzleis, who's our draft pick from this year. Torrey Craig, who's the veteran, one of the few veterans that we have there. Dalen Terry, Chris Duarte, Lonzo Ball, if he's healthy, that takes you up to over 10 right there. And yeah, I mean, Javon Carter, we don't know what's going to happen there. How do you feel this rotation is going to shake out? And when you look at that, now that we've kind of talked about that, who do you think could end up being the guy that falls out of that rotation?
I think your starting lineup's on point. I think your 6th man is absolutely right. Io DeSumo still has that. I think your Torrey Craig is probably 8th in that rotation.
Okay.
I'm trying to think.
So you got Torrey Craig over Buzelis to start the season?
Probably, because I've seen how I would love to say that Billy Donovan's going to play Mtas a ton this season, but I've seen how Billy Donovan plays rookies. You know what I mean? Like it's not a very, we're going to get you out there and get you some reps. So I think that it probably works Buzelis in slow. More than likely, you'll see more of Buzelis when the guys actually go down due to injury, or if the season is just going off the rails. And the reason for that is the Zach LaVine part of this.
That's where that really throws a nice wrench.
It throws everything off. I think you're odd man out, and I'm sorry. Like, I understand that everybody loves the hustle, loves the heart, loves what he brings, loves the dribble too much videos, loves the offseason dunk videos. I think your odd man out is Dalen Terry.
Dalen Terry.
He's the guy that just has the, like, if you would look at what everybody did, now I understand it's summer league as well, but when you look at how a lot of these guys played, right? Julian Phillips to me as a 3-and-D player off of your bench has a legitimate role. Mtas Buzleis as maybe that bench wing or bench 4, depending on how you want to utilize him, if you want to go small or not, that makes sense to me. Where does Dalen Terry fit in that? Even if you want to say he's your bench point.
Oh, another player that we didn't mention either is Ernolot Batin as one of your only shooters, true shooters off the bench as well.
I think he probably also doesn't get a ton of tick.
Yeah.
I would like to see more Ernolot because I think that he's a better player than the Bulls are allowing him to play. But I mean, you're not going to probably see a ton of Batim right now. But no, I think that Dalen Terry's your odd man out. I don't think that he's going to get, even as your backup point guard or shooting guard role, I would think they probably want to put Lonzo in that for one of two reasons. Either, hey, he's good, will you come back on like the cheapest deal we can get you? Or B, we might as well build up your draft stock or your trade stock now, if there's any trade stock, and be as careful with you as possible, because if people think that you're back, we can get off of this contract for the remainder of it and you can go live a nice life.
I mean, look, I think Torrey Craig could get into that rotation with that as well, just for that same reason. You may play Torrey Craig to hope that a contender is going to come knocking at the trade deadline. Now, I do disagree with you. I do think that Mtas Buzleis will get an opportunity to play, mainly because the last time we drafted that high, Patrick Williams got to play. Now that you could also say Dalen Terry didn't, but we knew Dalen Terry was an extremely raw player. I think Buzelis is going to get an opportunity. I'm not saying he's going to be getting tons of minutes. I think he may end up being that 8th, 9th guy that kind of minutes may fluctuate unless he's playing really well. That's just personally how I see it. And then also like the Lonzo aspect of it, I don't know. That's the thing that's most difficult to gauge, because even if Lonzo is healthy, he's still going to be on a heavy minutes restriction. He still might not play back-to-backs, which could create that 8th or 9th guy in your rotation gets a little bit more minutes than what they naturally would in a Billy Donovan rotation, because those minutes may not be consistent. But that's a lot up in air. That's just hard to gauge as well right now.
And that's why it's tough to predict the odd man out, because it's like, listen, I think they want to play Buzelis more, but you got a bunch of pieces that you got to get rid of. Now, can Buzelis at the end of the season average like 19, 20 points? Yeah, but it may be he's playing. I mean, I'm sorry, 19, 20 minutes.
Oh, I was about to say, if he's averaging 19 or 20 points by the end of the season, it was a success, my guy.
Yeah, you ain't lying. We had a good season. Can he average 19, 20 minutes by the end of the season? Maybe, but that could be he's playing 5 or 6 minutes to start the season because they're trying to force teams to look at Zach, look at Lonzo, look at Booch, look at Torrey Craig, like you mentioned as well, so that they could try and get him out of there by the deadline. And then by the end of the season, he could be playing 32 minutes a game because it's like, well, you're the starter now. Welcome to the job.
I think we'll find out very early on how much this youth movement is actually the focus, because if you are playing your young guys and letting them go through the ups and downs ahead of players like Torrey Craig or whatever, then you can say, hey, no, they're fully embracing this youth movement.
Yes.
Or it can go the way that because I can see an absolute world, as you're pointing out, that Torrey Craig's still getting minutes, Lonzo's still getting quite a bit of minutes, and it's not going to be the easiest rotation, because even with that lineup that you're saying is that you're still leaving out. You're playing a lot of small ball 5 in that case, unless you're just putting Jalen Smith on the Andre Drummond plan. So that's another part in this too, because with Jalen Smith's ability to play the 4 and the 5, he could maybe get a little bit more minutes than Drummond did, just because it's a more natural kind of fit next to Vooch in that case. But again, it's a lot of what ifs, man.
I think right now he's your bench 5, but I do think that he is versatile. He's interchangeable. You can throw him in there one way or the other. I think that you may see lineups, and again, this is probably more towards middle to end of the season. Don't be surprised if you see a lineup that is the tall guys lineup, right? You see, it depends on how confident Julian Phillips gets at this shot, but like if you see something where it's Kobe White, Julian Phillips, Patrick Williams, Mtas Buzleis, Nikola Vucevic, or Jalen Smith, whatever it is, right? Like now the Bulls have option and size. Like that's something that is actually a benefit to them. As far as the youth movement, though, I will reserve judgment until the end of the season on them using the youth movement, because I do think that there is an importance. You hate is a strong word, but when you trying to get rid of this mug as hard as you're trying to get rid of Zach LaVine, I struggle to find other words. You dislike somebody so much that you've literally shopped him to every team in the NBA, basically. Like, I think it's gonna be difficult to see a lot of guys getting minutes. And listen, if Lonzo's playing well, he's a contract that can help out, maybe moving something like that. If Torrey Craig is playing well, right, he could be a player, right? Like, I think there's so many combinations you could do with it as well, where it's like you kind of got to play these guys in the beginning of the season.
I mean, you say got to, but let's be clear here. When's the last time the Bulls have done anything logical?
Well, I mean, listen, this fits Billy Donovan's MO of like, hey, you got all these young pieces that we need to know if they're good, but I got these veterans.
But I got these vets here, I got these vets. I can trust these vets.
The vet is Javon Carter, right? Old Leroy's getting out there.
Oh, God, yeah. That's how we've reached the end of the segment. We're talking about playing Leroy out there. Next up, we're going to be talking about Buzelis being left off the Summer League top 10 roster. But before we get into that, we got to talk to you about a message from one of our sponsors, and that is eBay Motors. Passion, drive, and patience. The formula for winning championships is also what takes your ride or die alive, or what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you always find exactly what you're looking for. And with the eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions do apply. The eBay Guarantee Fit only available to U.S. customers. All right,
take
Pat.
your ride or die alive. What does that mean? Take my wife and not kill her? Like, that's cool. Like,
not kill her.
Take your ride or die alive. All right. Seems a little aggressive for your demand.
Oh, man. Summer League, top 10. Buzelis left off. How you feeling about it,
Pat? Don't be left off the final rookie list. I mean, listen, they're giving out rings and trophies for Summer League, and I'm just like, where's Denzel Valentine's gums when you need them? You know what I mean? Like, the Summer League hype that has come to Vegas every year, like, my mind is blown, bro. I watched that final game, and I was like, this is some of the worst basketball I've ever seen in my life. And then someone was awarded rings and a trophy at the end.
Did you see the rings, though?
Yes, the rings were nice.
They're nice, bro.
They're giving them good rings and a trophy, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Where are you putting that trophy?
By the way, did you see that Javon Freeman Liberty was waived by the Toronto Raptors today?
I did not. I hate to see that.
Yeah.
I did not. Yeah. Get back in that league, Javon. You got a chance. I'd be back in the G League, though.
He'll be back. Somebody's going to pick up Javon Freeman Liberty.
But no, man, like making the top, I think that he was one of the top Summer League players. I do think that the percentages are probably why he was left off of the list. His shooting percentage over those last couple of games was not good.
Yeah. It took him from averaging over 20 points per game to what he finished at, like 16 points per game.
Yeah. So it wasn't good enough for you to be on that list, which is fine. Use that as fuel. You weren't good enough to be graded as one of the top 10 rookies in Summer League. Go be one of the top 10 rookies in the NBA where it really matters, and find a role that works best for you. I'm not losing my mind with it one way or the other. As far as him being a snub, I don't know, man. There's some solid rookies in here. And there was some efficient, like Khalil Ware being on that list is like, that makes sense.
Yeah, so the first team, Gigi Jackson, which makes sense, Jordan Miller, Scottie Pippen Jr., Reed Shepherd, and Khalil Ware.
Scottie Pippen Jr. was a stretch to me, I ain't gonna lie.
That should have been Modest's spot in my opinion.
That was a stretch to me.
And then the second team was Bub Carrington, Donovan Clingan, Hami Hawkins, Jerace Walker, and Jalen Wilson.
Wait a minute. Oh, he was on that team. What the heck was he doing out there?
Who? Hami Hawkins?
Yeah, what the heck was Jaime Hawkins doing out there?
Hey, listen, he the captain, bro. He had to do something, man.
What the heck was he doing? I forgot about that until you just said it. I had an issue with that watching that game because like Ringo's watching it on the way home, and I'm like, what are you watching? And he was like, oh, I'm watching the Summer League Championship. I'm like, bro, why the heck is Jaime Hawkins on this team? You know what I mean? I got some issues with a lot of people.
He's only a second-year player, man. Hey, he figured let's go get some. You know what, though? Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. In the league this year? I wouldn't be surprised, though, all jokes aside, if Jaime Hawkins was out there to kind of help Khalil Ware kind of. They keep in mind, it's like when we drafted Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah decided to go down there.
Play. Yeah. Jaime averaged. Oh man, no, okay. He could have been out there. I thought he averaged more. He averaged 12 points a game, basically, 48% shooting, 32% from three. Yeah, okay. That's a stat line that you should still be in Summer League.
Yeah.
Man, Scottie Pippen Jr. being on there, I don't know, man. That's not the one for me.
I mean, it's Scottie Pippen Jr., bro. Like, I don't know what to say on that one, bro. Like, go get your stepmama. That's how you looked at the selection.
That's how I looked at it when I saw Scottie Pippen Jr. face up there.
That is hilarious.
I love that one, bro. But no, man, listen, at the end of the day, I think that Mtas played very well. I think he played well against the rookies he went against as well. I think he kind of took things personally and he had the right attitude. And listen, use it as fuel. That's what it comes down to me. And don't be one of those guys who is the fun highlight reel that's all he is the fun highlight reel.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
you can't jump forever. Contrary to what LeBron James is doing to everyone.
It's Summer League. Like, I get it. Yeah, he was snubbed. Yeah, he probably should have been on one of those teams. But those last two games really did hurt his chances of being on there, and that's just what it boils down to. But like you said, it's not like, are we really going to be tripping if that Mtas Buzleis wasn't on the Summer League, the All Summer League team? If he's one of the best rookies next season, no, we're not going to talk about it. I hate to tell y'all, y'all not going to be thinking about Summer League in 2 weeks.
Hey, let's be real. Let's be 100% real. There's a good portion of people out there that didn't know there was an All Summer League team.
That's a fact as well.
There's a good portion of people out there that was like, hey, bro, like, why are we counting the 10 best players out of Summer League? Why do I care? Do they get a bonus? Like, what happens? What goes into your contract? Like, do you show up and just be like, hey, we got that ring? And then Pat Riley just smacks you in the face? Is that how it goes?
With his rings? Like, I don't know what it is, bro. Like, man. It is what it is there. Like, Summer League, like the thing is, the Summer League is fun basketball to watch, especially if you have a rookie that you're excited about on your team or even a second-year player. But ultimately, Summer League it's just terrible basketball, bro. It's really bad. If it didn't happen at the standpoint where we've been so far removed from the finals and stuff, like, people really wouldn't care at all about Summer League. What is it, like 12 years now, Summer League? How long has Summer League been around?
Oof, yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's been a while. I remember when I just stumbled onto it. I don't remember if people knew this, but like, if you went to sleep on ESPN, there was a good chance you were just gonna wake up on a Summer League game.
Oh, bro, that is exactly how Summer League used to happen, bro. It got to be more than 10 years. Maybe at 20 years in Summer League, but that's exactly how Summer League started.
It got to be more than 10 years because Derrick Rose played in it.
Yeah, that's why I thought about it. I was like, no, it got to be
Dang it!
Longer than that.
I literally just remember, like,
the Vegas Summer League started in 2004. Before that, there was that's crazy. I do remember Orlando Summer League.
I remember
that was 2002.
So. I remember that.
So 22 years.
The first Summer League I paid attention to, I vividly remember.
It was Derrick Rose's.
It was Derrick Rose's.
Yeah, that's the first time I paid attention.
I woke up. And Derrick Rose was just on the TV in a Bulls jersey, and he did like the back scratcher dunk. And I was like, why is Bulls basketball on at 8:00 in the morning on a Saturday? What's happening right now? That's definitely Derrick Rose. And I was like, oh, they must be televising a scrimmage because that's how bad everybody else looked in the game. Like,
yeah, bro. Yeah.
There was one cold game in there, though. Who was it? He played against.
I think it was Memphis. Was it Memphis?
Bro,
it wasn't him in CDR? Or maybe I may be thinking about a preseason game.
Bro, there was one that was cold. Like, it was one where I was like, oh, this is a thing. I'm going to keep watching it. And it was like him and another rookie. I don't remember who it was that else was who also was a rookie that year. And they was going at, was it Michael Beasley? Might have been Michael Beasley.
They played against the Giants.
I don't know. It could have been. It could have been Michael Beasley. I
matter.
don't know if they played the Suns in it. That was a while ago. Hey, man, it don't matter. At the end of the day, be better in the regular season. Do what Derrick Rose did in the regular season. Do that. But that might just follow that example. You know what I mean? 18 years apart to the day they were drafted. 18 years apart. Shout out to that. But hey, we got to keep this thing moving along. Before we get into the final topic, talking about the 1901 Project, got to tell you about our friends over at FanDuel. Listen, I love sports. I love them so much. I never want them to stop. But as the playoffs wind down, we get fewer games and the sports just aren't sportsing like I want them to. What is sportsing? We got to figure that out. But FanDuel lets me keep the sports going whenever I want. All I have to do is open the app and dream up bets anytime I'm in the mood. So if you're a fan of FanDuel and this summer you want to get in on FanDuel, FanDuel is hooking all customers up with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day, all summer long. So head over to FanDuel.com and start making the most out of your summer. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. You fans. Didn't put that lower third up for me, huh? Just F my ad read.
You'll be all right. It's okay. Anyway, the 1901 Project was officially announced today, Pat. This is a reclamation project in a lot of ways. We believe they're putting in $7 billion for mixed-use district around the United States, bringing that to the west side of Chicago. Basically, what the Bulls and the Wirtz family are doing are saying, hey, Bears, we heard what you were trying to do over at Arlington Heights. We got you.
Well, I mean, listen,
Jerry is one, but
yeah, Jerry wanted to get in on kind of building a dual thing with the Bears, and that never really came into fruition. Listen, I say this. As much as I rag on Jerry Reinsdorf on the podcast, as much as we all...
He's a businessman.
He is a phenomenal businessman.
And we talked about, around this time last year, we talked about when Jerry Reinsdorf was buying up a lot of the property around the United States and wonder what was happening. Now we know what was happening.
Yeah, and listen, I'm excited by it. I'm glad that it's going to happen. I think that it's going to bring it's going to raise the standard of the west side of Chicago. I mean, I'm always around the United Center because it's basically 15, 20 minutes from my house, depending on the traffic that day. Y'all know that could turn into an hour and a half. But I mean, like it's something good that's coming to Chicago, and I'm excited about it. And I hope that it is something that does bring a ton of jobs. I hope that it brings a ton of it raises the real estate prices over there for the people who own homes over there, raises their housing value and stuff like that. Like, I think that is something that is very good to see Jerry Reinsdorf doing for Chicago. And let's be real, outside, I think that this is Jerry's. There's no basketball legacy for the 2000s for Jerry. Mm-hmm. I think that this is Jerry's thing that he will say, this is my legacy for the Bulls outside of Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, it's legacy for overall, like, just Reinsdorf and just the footing he has in the city of Chicago, how endeared he is, even though he's not from the city. But yeah, I like what they're bringing here. They're bringing a 6,000 seat theater, right? A music hall that they're bringing here. Yeah. Restaurants gonna come. I like that they also announced the parking part of it. They talked about it's gonna create 12,000 permanent jobs for the city of Chicago, which is all great.
No, yeah, man. I'm excited about it. It looks beautiful. And I'm glad to have Here's the one part that it kind of sucks that the Bears probably aren't building this stadium in Chicago. That's not insight. That's not me announcing anything. That's literally just me like, they trying to cut off LSD for like 5 months. It's not going to happen. You're not shutting down, or for like 5 years. You're not shutting down LSD. Which, did you know it's not LSD no more?
What is it?
I don't even know what it is. Let me look it up. JC told us this on the show the other day. He literally is like, bro, they changed the name of Lakeshore Drive last year. And I was like, bro, what? Now, I didn't confirm nor deny this, so I may slap this man. No. John Baptiste Point du Sable. I think that's what he said. He said basically the name of the street now is Du Sable or Du Sable.
Okay.
Nah, it's stupid.
Yeah, it's very stupid. So that wasn't an okay in agreement. That was an okay in here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Now it does still end with Lakeshore Drive, so they basically just threw some dude's name in there. Now hold on. This is probably like a very prominent Chicago figure. Let me make sure I'm not disrespecting somebody.
It sounds like the name of one of your ancestors, so you need to get that right.
He is a Haitian American trader. I don't know what that got to do with Chicago. I got to look this up. Okay, all right, hold on. As the permanent non-native settler of what would later become Chicago, Illinois, and is recognized as the city's founder. I did not know that.
No,
learn something every day. Shout out to him. It's gonna be Muzz in the comments like, how did y'all not know?
Yeah, they gonna kill us on that one, but it is what it is.
Bro, I don't care.
A lot of them don't even know how to write correctly, so it's okay. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it.
Y'all still put commas in the wrong places, adults. You know what I mean? You got problems too.
If you spell your kid's name with an apostrophe in it, you just need to shut up.
if there's a dash in your child's name,
just exit out of any conversation. Just shut up.
Why did we just fry these mugs? Because we was too dumb to realize who founded Chicago.
You gotta pre-fry mugs around here, bro. You know how it goes.
Hey man, whatever. I don't care. I think I went to public school. But no, at the end of the day, I think it's really good. I'm glad to see the 1901 project get announced, and I can't wait till it's done. It is about to. The worst part about this is I love the infrastructure upgrades that Chicago gets, but traffic finna suck, dog.
For years.
I guess he said ain't nobody coming to these Bulls games anyway. Might as well. All right. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do, man. Follow us on everything at Locked On Bulls. You can follow me on everything at Pat the Designer. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago.
You guys can follow me at CEO Haize. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Locked On Bulls. We are free and available on every podcasting app and platform of your choice, as well as YouTube. For Pat the Designer, I'm Haize. This has been Locked On Bulls, y'all. We out of here. Peace, y'all.
Peace. Dang. This mug get a lot. About to do some reading.